Hey guys, what's up? It is me back again with another video, and your girl is glowing. Before I get started with this video, why don't you go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because I'm starting to get into this little schedule and we're gonna stick with it. I promise this time. And also, why don't you go ahead and hit the notification bell for whenever I upload, because the videos I'm gonna post you don't want to miss. So before I get started with this story time by the title of this video, wow, remember when YouTube titles were up there and not down there? Anyways, I'm old. Let's just appreciate the, I don't know if you can read it like that. Whoo, the baby girl earrings, yes, with the choker. It's laundry day, so I couldn't dress like a bum like I usually do. I had to dress up just a little bit, so I guess. So, what you guys have all been waiting for. Not really, because nobody asked me to tell this story, but I'm gonna tell it anyways. Yes. I did audition for the X Factor back in 2013. So let's get into the story, because you don't want to miss it. So fast forward to, oh my god, 10th grade. I was like obsessed with One Direction, and I knew that they, had their start on the X Factor. So I was like, I mean, I can sing, I guess. So why not audition for the X Factor? So it was like December 2013, or no, December 2012. Yeah, December 2012. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna audition for the X Factor online. I sent in a video and I never got a response. So I was just like, wow, I must suck. So if at first you don't succeed, hey, dust yourself off and try again. So instead of doing an online audition, I was like, you know what? Just show up to the audition in person. So I ended up going in April of 2013 to go audition for the X Factor in New York City. Me and my mom, I love you, Mom. I don't know, yeah, love you. She drove us to New York City, and the audition was at Nassau Coliseum. So when we first got there, it was like a three-day thing, basically. So left on Tuesday night, like midnight, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday night or midnight. And we got there like 7 a.m. And so literally 7 a.m. we 7 a.m. we got there, and we had to wait in line for like wristbands and tickets. So we waited in line from 7 to like 4 o'clock. 7 a.m. to 4 o'clock, just standing there. Like we weren't like strategic with it. We didn't like get chairs or anything. So it was literally like pain. It was pain. Like we're just standing for hours. We didn't eat anything. And so and it was cold outside. So there was that too. We waited in line for 7 hours, no bathroom breaks, no food, no sitting down at all. But it was so cool to kind of see like everyone who was like gonna audition, and there was like groups and solo acts and stuff. So that was really cool. So we ended up getting our wristbands and tickets 7 hours later, and that was pretty much it for the first day. We just got our wristbands and tickets. So then fast forward to 2 days, because there was 2 days that you could get wristbands and tickets, but the sooner you came, the earlier you could be seen. So I wanted to be seen like pretty early in the day on that Thursday. So fast forward to Thursday, it's time to audition, and I think they told everyone to be there around like, it's been so long, I forget, but I was out of there by like maybe well, I really don't remember, like maybe 2 o'clock, and like we're all just like, I came in because my mom is deaf, like, and I wanted to be seen, and she was like, I don't want to wait. We ended up having our tickets and wristbands switched to like handicap tickets and wristbands, so we were kind of just like pushed even closer up. But everyone outside, there was like cameramen on top of the Coliseum, like filming like the B shots and like the crowd shots. People were like dancing and singing and like doing the little X sign, and it was really cool. It was really cool, but I wasn't part of it because we got switched. So yeah, it's okay. So we left, and we went inside. Finally, because we were waiting for a minute, so we went inside, and like the Coliseum is filling up like really fast. Like there's so many people there that it was like a dream. And I was wearing this like, I was wearing a black long sleeve shirt with like a skater skirt, because that was my style back then. Like a skater, no, it's still my style now, but I was wearing a black long sleeve shirt with a skater skirt, like a blue and white polka dot skater skirt, white leggings or white stockings. Listen, I still regret it to this day. And then my black Doc Martens. So as you can imagine, I was probably looking a hot mess. But for how old was I? 15-year-old, I guess it wasn't that bad. So I like after a few hours of just kind of waiting, or I don't even think it was a few hours, maybe it was like an hour and a half at most, like my section was finally called up, and so like they had everyone go into a single file line, and like down in the like little circle thing, like they had like little sectionals, like little booths, and like everyone went into a booth, and like, you know, I was in line. First of all, I thought I was so hot because I had my Doc Martens like back home. I was like, okay, like I have Doc Martens, like nobody else is gonna have them. Literally standing in that line, every girl there had on Doc Martens. I was like, okay, don't do this. So yeah, it was finally my turn to go. I had 3 song choices for me to choose from. At the time, I was in Glee Club in my high school. Shout out SWW Glee Club. But at that time, I was in the Glee Club, so they helped me like practice, and they helped me pick songs for what I wanted to do. And I ended up going with When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. Like that ending part where he like belts out, yeah, that's what I chose. I also had Someone Like You in there, and I think Sunday Morning by Maroon 5. Oh, I love that song so much. But yeah, so it was those 3, but I picked When I Was Your Man because I felt like it could best like show my vocal ability at the time. So was my turn to go. I went into this booth and there was this woman there, and you know, she's asking me questions like what is your name, where are you from, what song are you gonna be singing, like basically that's it. I told her I was from Rochester, and she's like, oh, like I used to go to RIT, I went to school in Rochester. So I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having my back. So it kind of like, you know, kind of broke the ice, like made me a little bit less nervous, but I was still nervous. And like my mom was down there with me. And keep in mind, my mom is, again, she's deaf, so like she can't hear me sing or anything. She was just there for support, which I really appreciate. But you know, she was like, okay, go ahead. And like when I have to sing in front of people, like in that manner, I get really nervous. Like my stomach feels weird, and like my palms get like sweaty, my throat gets like it's really bad. But like at that moment, I just like belted out like whatever, and like I did a little freestyle notes in there. Like I was like, I did that, period. So yeah, after I finished singing that whole part, I'm not gonna sing it on here, but after I finished singing that part, I like I just kind of stopped and I just waited for her to say like if I passed through or not. And I looked over at my mom, and my mom's just like and she was like, well, you passed through the next round. And then she pulled up her golden ticket, and my mom, and I look over at my mom, and she's like, and so I give her the like, and she like because she was kind of outside of another booth, like standing there, so she wasn't in the booth with me, but she was out there. So when I give her a thumbs up, she like like she started screaming, and she ran over to the lady and gave her a hug, and she was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like thank you so much, thank you so much. You know, I'm deaf, and you know, I didn't know that my daughter can sing, but now I know, and she's good, and like I'm so proud, like. And that in itself just made me cry. Like she was crying, but that made me cry. So I was just like like we were just crying. I gave the lady a hug too, because my mom like pulled me in. But it was really like I just thinking about it now, it's just like it's very emotional, because that was the point in my life where it was, you know, I was still young. I was 15 years old, and like when you're young, like when you're that young, you kind of don't realize like your abilities, like your skill sets. You don't realize that you can do so much at such a young age, but like you don't realize it because either people don't tell you, or like you're kind of like insecure, or you know, stuff like that. So yeah, it was just like, that was just such a proud moment in my life. That was just like, yes, like you did it. Like you told yourself to go, you told yourself that you could do it, and you did it, and you passed. So so we're just crying. I'm crying on the way to the next room, and like my mom, like literally people who are like still waiting to audition are like watching us, and my mom's just like, I'm deaf, and I didn't know that she can sing. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, like that's enough. No, but I really appreciate how like excited she was for me. So we went into another room, and we had to like fill out some paperwork, and like they give you a sticker like when you first go through, So they gave me like, I had a sticker on already, but they're like, okay, you have to come back tomorrow, like 10 a.m. and wearing the same exact thing, like down to your hairstyle, like you have to wear the same exact thing, and keep the sticker on. And so I'm just like, okay. And then they're like, and like you have to sign like a social media agreement. You can't tell anybody. You can't do this. You can't do that, until when the show starts, like when the season starts, which I guess I kind of broke it because you'll see. But yeah, like it was just like we filled out paperwork. Afterwards we went to Checkers to eat, and like it was just like thank God. Like I'm finally out of there. Called my sister up and I'm like, yeah, I made it. And she was like, wow, I'm so proud of you. And so fast forward to the next day, which is a Friday. We get there at 10 a.m. It's a lot more like intimate and low key now. And they have us in that room where we had to fill out paperwork after we passed the first round. So they didn't have us in like the actual arena. They had us like in the basement or something. And so they told us all to sit down, like a small group of people, like small groups. And we're waiting from like, we got there at 10. I didn't get out of there till, no way it was 10. We didn't get out of there till 2. But it was like, what, 10 to 11, 12, 1, 2. So we're waiting for 4 hours to be seen. Bro, that was a lot. That was a lot. So waited 4 hours, around 2-ish, like 1:30-ish, 2-ish. They finally call our group up, and like everyone is like, you know, still like, wow, like I made it. Like it was still like a rush. So again, they had like the booths, and you walked in, and like, because there was like different people that you audition in front of. The first person was a producer, and then there's executive producers, and then I don't know what happens after that, but yeah. So I saw the producer. This was the executive producer, and like this energy was just a little bit different. He was a male, and like, first of all, before I walked in there, there was this girl, like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, everyone was equally talented, but there were some people who were way more talented than others. And it was very, very, very clear. So there was this girl that I heard singing, like, Drops of Jupiter, and I'm like, okay, like, she's good. And they let her through. And then, like, this girl in front of me, she was rapping and singing, which was really cool. And so, like, she went in and she did, like, Can't Hold Us, Macklemore, but she did, like a cool rendition of it. And it was, like, I was like, okay, like, that was really good. But he sent her home. So I'm just like, okay. But anyways, so it was my turn to go, and like I did the same exact thing. I walked in, and you know, like he didn't ask me any questions. He wasn't like, you know, what's your name? What are you singing today? Like I introduced myself, and I came off as shy because, you know, it wasn't like I'm not the type to pretend that like I have this like out there personality, you know, like some people do for reality TV shows. So like I naturally came in, like I'm 15 years old, so how am I supposed to react? I walked in and like I said hi, I introduced myself, I told him that this was my mom, And like he was like, okay, go. And I sang the same exact thing, the same exact way. And like, I don't know, I felt like somewhere in between me singing, it was just a no. Like, and I don't think I did bad or anything, but like, I could just tell that he wasn't feeling it. He wasn't feeling it. So I finished, and he was like, unfortunately, it's gonna be a no today. And like, my heart just like shattered in very, very, very tiny pieces. Cause I really wanted it. Like, I really was like, oh my God, like, I can't wait, you know. I would have to make travel arrangements to go to California, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was really, really, really excited. But like, hearing that no was just like, so I started crying. Like, I started crying in front of this man and in front of my mom. And like, I was just, oh my God, I was bawling my eyes out. And like, we walked out of the tent, or the booth, and like, there's somebody standing there to cut off your wristbands. To cut off your wristbands. So that you don't like come back, I guess. So yeah, there's somebody there to cut off your wristbands. So I'm like, and I'm like crying on the way out, like all the way to the parking lot. Yeah, I'm just crying like the entire time. And like, I called my sister, and I was just like, yeah, no, they said no, I didn't make it. And she's like, oh, I'm still proud of you, and you know, you still did it. And you know, that it kind of made me feel better, but it didn't. So like, I at the time I was staying with my grandparents, and like, my grandfather was just like, oh, you didn't make it, oh, well, that's okay, you know. And like, you know, everyone's trying to make me feel better. I mean, I went inside the house, and like, I literally just laid in bed for the rest of the night. And like, I'm getting texts like, well, did you make it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I'm not answering any of that until I feel better. So like, I literally just went to bed after that. Like, my heart was broken. So fast forward to Monday, I had to go back to school. And like, before I left, there was like an article published in the school newspapers, like saying like, oh, these people are auditioning for these shows. This other girl in my school was auditioning for The Voice. I was auditioning for the X Factor. So everyone knew. Everyone knew that I was auditioning for the X Factor in my school. So when I came back, it was like, I was bombarded. And like, it's like, I don't know what do you say? Like, I mean, obviously you say, I didn't make it, but you know, you don't realize like how many people you had rooting for you until you fail. And like, yeah, I felt like a failure because I didn't make it. But at the same time, like, thinking back and thinking to right now, like, I'm proud of myself for doing that, because I really put myself out there. So many people, you know, don't do things like that, or don't have the courage to do things like that. And like, I don't like everything about the experience. It's like, that happened, what, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That happened like 6 years ago. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. Whoa. Oh my God. That happened 6 years ago. So it was just like, you know, I don't know where I was going with this. Yeah, it happened 6 years ago. And like, I still think about it to this day, because, you know, that was still an experience that I, you know, like, not everyone gets to experience. And, you know, like, being around a whole bunch of talented people, you kind of get a different outlook on life. You get, you know, like there was this like a little boy band, and like it was just so exciting to see them perform, and like they were singing, like practicing while we were waiting for our wristbands tickets, and it was just like I'm just surrounded by so much talent. And you know, you realize that like even though you are just one person, a lot of these people that do make it through like all of the rounds and even, you know, audition in front of the celebrities, they, you know, they're just one person, or they're, you know, a group, but they still put themselves out there in the first place, and that's really what matters. So yeah, I auditioned for the X Factor. I made it through the producers rounds. I didn't make it through the executive producers round, so unfortunately I did not audition in front of, at the time I believe it was this was second season auditioning or third season. It was the season with Carly, Rose, Son, and Claire. No, it was the season with Alex and Sierra. I think it was the third season. Yes, it was the third season because I did not watch the first season, but I watched the second season. And after the second season, I realized I wanted to audition, so I was auditioning for the third season. So yeah, like, you know, things happen for a reason, and like take this story as a life lesson. Like, it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay to do things that you're not used to doing, or it's okay to be afraid to do things or be afraid to fail, as long as you do it, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's, you know, looking out for someone like you, because, you know, this might not be right for you, but this might be. And, you know, someone who is watching is like, well, like, they don't want her, but I do, because like she has the look, she has this, you know. So definitely put yourself out there, like in everything that you do, or in everything that you want to do, because like who knows, like, you know, you could be singing on live TV. You could be singing on live TV every week. Yeah. So thank you for watching my story, or yeah, for listening to my story. If you have any questions, like any more questions, like feel free to, I don't think you can message anymore. Feel free to leave a comment, or I'll put my social handles down there so you can like send me a DM and I'll answer. Cause, you know, someone might watch this and be like, well, I really want to do this, but I want to know more. So yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you. Oh my god, no, that's not my outro. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate it, and I love all of you guys. Thank you.